Bijan in London might just be safe after all, at least a lot safer than we had feared this could go. So we'll break down that and more. Brian Dable, he's the offensive coordinator in Tennessee. Or is he? Is this Mike McDaniel still looking for a head coaching job all over again? Is this a new trend we're going to see? Joe Brady elevated to head coach in Buffalo. Is it a joke? Is it a disaster waiting to happen? Is there a silver lining? Are there pros and cons? We're breaking down all of that and a whole bunch more. The Fantasy Football Show, breaking news show. This is a news show. The 8 p.m. show is your only news source you need in NFL and fantasy football because we break it all down. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So let's start off with the news you're all here to have me break down initially, which was Joe Brady elevated to head coach over in Buffalo. A lot of people are going to be really upset over this. A lot of people are going to make fun of this, and I understand why. There's pros and cons. Let's go over the cons. The Bills hire offensive coordinator Joe Brady as their head coach after this owner kind of demoralizes the entire staff at a press conference and blames a lot of people for Keon Coleman, that then takes the blame himself and then kind of bounces around. It's embarrassing what's going on over in Buffalo. They penny pinch. They haven't gone after wide receivers for years. They give Josh Allen no support whatsoever. And now they go with the guy, Joe Brady, that is probably the most boring, mundane, non-exciting, not making a splash, not reaching for the stars, not making any bold moves, not trying to change anything, change the culture, change the direction, change the lack of momentum. I was about to say momentum, but lack of momentum. The Bills are not trying to jostle anything around. If you're going to fire McDermott, then it makes sense that you want to go in a different direction. If you fire McDermott, it makes sense that you know, even though a lot of people don't like that move, you're going to try something different. You're going to go get wide receivers. I don't know that the Bills will be interested in big-name wide receivers again. I kind of thought they're turning over a new leaf. Getting rid of McDermott meant they were really, truly trying to do something different, whether people liked it or not. And I kind of like that. But now that they elevate Brady, you just got to ask yourself, what in the hell's changing? Why scapegoat McDermott just to elevate Brady? It doesn't make much sense. But I will say this. I think that there has been success with Joe Brady and Josh Allen. So the cons are, I'm not impressed by the change. Like they're trying to make a change. They don't make much of a change at all. I also was on record saying I didn't think they needed to go through and fire their entire staff. So if I say they didn't need to fire McDermott, they didn't necessarily need to fire Brady. Now, Brady's not a safe call. Brady, he seems safe to the organization. They made a safe and lazy decision. But I don't think this is safe. I think that this is risking a lot because you've got a window that's closing. Now, again, that's my cons. My cons are we have to be proven wrong because we're all thinking this isn't going to work, especially Joe Brady. The other negative would be if you bring someone in like Harbaugh or Dable or whatever, and this might be why they didn't bring in a big name. You're going to have somebody eager to get a lot of power and have a lot of requests because they're not in the organization. They get to make big asks and say, I want this control. I want to be able to go after who I want. I want to be able to trade, and go get wide receivers, do whatever I want. This organization is very cheap and they don't want to spend money on wide receivers. They don't want to go after the big names. Now, maybe they prove me wrong. And this move looks like they don't want to make a change, but they do. And I hope that's correct. I hope that they do go get Mike Evans in free agency. But you look at it and you say, okay, Brady did have success with Josh Allen. Josh Allen's been magnificent for years. They just don't have the support. My concern is Brady's getting elevated from within and they don't give him more power. It's kind of like an employee that's worked for an organization for 5 years has literally no power. You could walk into your boss's office and go, what if I step away? You're hiring Billy Bob, who you just hired. He hasn't been here but 4 months. He makes like $10 more an hour than I make. and you have no control. But Billy Bob, when he walked into the interview, knowing that they needed to hire, said, I want $10 more than him. And they said, okay, we'll do it, because they had no leverage. So Brady probably had zero leverage. Brady's begging to get this job. Like, hey, elevate me. I'll take it. Okay, but if you take it, we're in control of this. We're in control of that. I'm not necessarily saying they even painted this picture. They could just, it could be the way they operate, how they talk to him already. But I don't think Brady has the kind of pull Harbaugh would have. When Harbaugh he went in, we're going to make this deal. Everybody in New York got excited, and then Harbaugh threw a negotiation tactic curveball at the Giants and said, by the way, I don't want Joe Schoen in my sights. I don't want to report to him. I want to go straight to ownership. I want to have full control. Joe Schoen doesn't come near me. And he did that after he already made it known, publicly accepted, everybody's celebrating. What a smart negotiation tactic. Joe Brady has got no leverage. So I'm afraid Joe Brady's handcuffed. I'm afraid Joe Brady doesn't have the pull he needs to go get what he needs, like an outsider would when he says, I want to have this ability if I take this job. Do you accept? Those are the negatives. The positives are Josh Allen has been pretty magnificent. So from a fantasy football perspective, and I said this before, if they don't go get the coach we want, I still am not lowering him a single bit. And I also believe that it comes with a kind of nice blow to the fantasy football value, to the point where at least he's not going to climb, right? He might even fall a couple of draft slots in ADP. So Josh Allen stays low, stays under the radar, and maybe there's a chance that Joe Brady, with more control, can get things done. Maybe he didn't want Keon Coleman. Maybe it was McDermott. Maybe it was the owner and McDermott. We're kind of playing like wishful thinking, but at the end of the day, we also got to understand this Josh Allen wanted this. Now, they're buddies. Joe Brady and Josh Allen are like this. Maybe Josh Allen's too close to the situation to understand that it's not good for his development and for the team getting what they need to win and putting all the other pieces in place. Maybe Joe Brady's great for Josh Allen. Maybe Joe Brady's great for Josh Allen progressing. Maybe Joe Brady is not great for having the pull to go get Mike Evans or whatever they need. Maybe Joe Brady's good at that, and we don't know that because Joe Brady's not in full control. I guess the way I would look at it is this. It's tough, because I agree with a lot of you. And a lot of you are going to think this, and I totally agree with you that there's a lot of this thinking going on. We're going to tie a lot of bad to Joe Brady. But think about you guys in the workplace at any one moment in your life where you were under somebody who ran the division, the operation, the department wrong, but you're forced to live inside the confines of that operation. You're not in control. You're second or third or whatever in command. And people judge you because of how your boss is running things. You only have so much latitude to make changes and to be who you want to be and turn the organization or the team into what you want. So we do have to kind of consider that Joe Brady, we can't judge Joe Brady in totality because of what we think he was controlling or what he wasn't controlling. Now he does have full control, and maybe his ways are way better than McDermott's. Maybe he can get more done. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say how much of this was Joe Brady's fault that they did this or did that. How much of it was McDermott's fault. So we do have to kind of like heed the way to Josh Allen's decision making here and say, if Josh Allen wants it, how can I not at least say, okay, maybe this will work? That's the way I look at it. And again, at the end of the day, from a fantasy perspective, this doesn't help rise Josh Allen's value. It only probably drops it or keeps it exactly where it is in the third round, mid third round, late third round. And that's exactly where I want my Josh Allen.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Let him cook.
At the end of the day, is it bad? Not from fantasy. Not from a fantasy perspective. Now, let's go get Mike Evans. Now, Joe Brady, listen to me right now as I speak to you directly. Go get Mike Evans and do it live.
Let him cook.
on the board right here, you see the free agent wide receivers, Pickens, free agent and rookies and potential trade targets, not just free agents. But you see Mike Evans, you see Wandell, you see Alec Pierce. Everybody's mid. They're good. They're very good ads, but Mike Evans. And Mike Evans might be past his prime. Maybe he can't stay healthy, but I'll take the gamble. I'll take the gamble that Josh Allen can drop back and do a little Devontae Adams, 800 yards and 14. Does anybody realize, when you look at it, it's a shock, but Devontae Adams only had 800 yards last year. Ziggy, how many yards did Devontae Adams accrue in 2025?
Devontae Adams accrued 789 receiving yards in 2025.
I know he missed a couple games, and he's done that 2 years in a row. But Adams only accrued 700. Ziggy off. 700 and what was it? 80? 780 yards. Does that compute to you? It doesn't compute to me. It doesn't make any sense. I don't remember that because I know he scored 14 touchdowns. Ziggy off. Turn off, Ziggy. Turn off. Ziggy off. I'm gonna break this live on the show. Someday, I almost vowed to you, one of these days I'm gonna take a bat out and I'm gonna smash Ziggy to pieces. Does anybody realize that he had 780? Like in the back of your head, isn't that crazy? 14 touchdowns, led the league in receiving touchdowns, finishes wide receiver number 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, depending on your scoring format. Wide receiver 9, and he had 780 something yards. That's crazy. That's concerning. You can't replicate those touchdowns again. That's really hard to do. So Adams is probably someone we're not drafting very often in 2026. I'm going to tell you that right now. It sucks to say because he had 14 touchdowns. He's a marvel. Now, in some best ball, we'll dabble. I'm not saying this guy's 1,400 yards either. But Josh Allen, what he needs is a big-bodied threat in the end zone, in the red zone, at the goal line. This is the kind of guy who could get 12 touchdowns and 800 yards, 900. I think you could get more yardage than Devontae Adams because Devontae Adams is kind of like he wasn't really. It didn't seem like even throughout the whole year, but especially at the end, it was like this guy. He's either going to show up in the end zone or not at all. It almost felt DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Julio Jones end of their career, like yardage wise. Devontae Adams was non-existent. And I think Mike Evans could still be 800, 900, even 1,000, even if he stayed healthy. I think it's going to be lower than normal, but he could still get 12 touchdowns. This is the key to Buffalo. It's the key. We've been saying it for months. Mike Evans is the key to the Buffalo Bills. It falls in their price range because they could do a short team-friendly deal. They don't have to commit or trade draft capital for Pickens when Jerry decides not to pay Pickens what he wants. And there's offers and talk about that. We're talking about Josh Allen getting a receiver that Josh Allen could finally say, and he couldn't even really say this with Stephon Diggs. Diggs was more of a racing downfield, knifing through defenders. Definitely a little more than a possession receiver, but Mike Evans is the kind of guy you can literally say, F it, he's over there somewhere. I'll throw it up. Doesn't even have to be exactly in his vicinity, and he'll come down with the football. Mike Evans is that kind of guy. And even if he diminishes a little bit here or there, he's still going to go up and get the football. And this would be so different for Josh Allen. And it is the key to a championship. I don't think they have the wherewithal or the desire from a upper level perspective, from the decision makers upstairs down, any desire to go not only spend big money on a young stud wide receiver, but make a draft capital exchange to get that opportunity and then pay them. I think this is the closest you're going to get to Buffalo making a wild move. This is Amari Cooper. Let's do it cheap. Doesn't work? Ah, damn it. Oh, well, we tried. We got Amari Cooper. at his end. We got Mike Evans at his end. Hopefully Mike Evans is not at his tail end, because Mike Evans would be fantastic. That is the news on Joe Brady, Josh Allen. Again, Josh Allen goes to the moon no matter what. And this is fantastic from a fantasy perspective, because the last thing I wanted it and I didn't want it. It's like a catch-22, right? Double-edged sword. If Joe Brady or if the Buffalo Bills got Mike McDaniel, even Dable to a degree, but I don't think people are as excited about Dable across the board like we were, So I don't know that Dable would have moved his value up that much. But regardless, if it was a big name mastermind offensive scheme artist and architect, we'd probably see Josh Allen climbing to the bottom of 2. And I don't want that. I think Josh Allen can earn number 1 or number 2 quarterback value no matter what. And I'm going to bank on the idea that if Josh Allen wants Joe Brady, if Josh Allen feels like Joe Brady didn't have control over a lot that we wanted, that we're judging him for because he was offensive coordinator, if Josh Allen believes in him, then I say we give him a chance, and no matter what, Josh Allen will be okay. So I'm not going to say I'm on board, or if I could change this, I probably would put it to Dable, but let's see what happens before we start, judging it. Dable, Titans officially signed former Giants coach Brian Dable as their offensive coordinator, but pump the brakes on this situation because this is very similar to the Miami Mike situation. And I predict this becomes a trend in the NFL, where now what do you have? You have really not the first time, but you have kind of the first openly social media covering it and blasting it all over the place time, Mike McDaniel really, where he's taking the job. Everybody's like, great, he's the offensive coordinator in LAC with the Chargers. Wait a minute. News breaking. Mike McDaniel's still trying to get a head coaching job. And wait a minute. Well, I thought he's the OC. He is the OC, but he can step away at any moment. So he locked down his offensive coordinator duties to just now go flirt with other head coaching prospects. Here's where I think the trend kicks in. I think McDaniel opened up a wormhole. I think he opened up a new tactic that was kind of there, but again, the social media coverage of it growing every year. Now it's a move. Now it's a bargaining chip. Now what you do is you go accept your OC job, you get your floor value, and then these teams go, damn it, he's already locked up. And now teams are going to push to maybe bring that coach in and maybe jump a little sooner, maybe offer a little more, because now they got a prime away from a prime OC job. It's kind of genius, right? I mean, McDaniel is in a great location that will give him, if he succeeds, and he's got all the weapons to succeed. Offensive line should be healthy. Everything's there. They're a good team. The foundation of the team's good. He gets his Hampton. Vidal, maybe he drafts another rookie running back. We'll have to see. He's got Lab McConkey. Oh my God, Lab McConkey's going to the moon. Lab McConkey's going to the mother freaking moon.
To the moon.
He's going to the moon.
Stock on the rise.
But we're going to see a trend of these guys. Dable, okay, let me get my OC job nailed down. Now, all these teams that are thinking about me, now, just like when dude's walking around the streets with this girl, all the girls are looking at him. He's got confidence. He doesn't need these people looking. He's not even looking at them, so they're looking at him. Single guy walking down the street, same attractiveness level, walking down this is Psych 101. This is your boy studied psych. I'll bring this to the table. Dude walking down the street, same guy, same looks, same everything, dressed the same, looks like the same status. He's looking around at all the ladies. None of the ladies are interested at all. Why? Because he's single. Well, what's wrong with him? Why is he single? If he's single, there must be something wrong with him. And he's looking at us. We don't need someone. He's gawking at us. If he's gawking at us, that means he's not a hot commodity. He's the one searching. But dude walking with this girl looks like, damn, he's so good he's taken. That's psychology 101. And it's no different in the job space or anywhere in the world. Mike McDaniel, Brian Dable, they go and get this girlfriend. They put them on their arm. Everything looks copacetic. Dable's walking around with the Titans on his arm. He's got his lady. He's sitting there. And now the Raiders, according to Schefter, Dable is still in line for the Raiders head coaching job. Now the Raiders look at Dable and say, damn, boy isn't even looking in our direction. He's got his lady on his arm. He's a hot commodity. This is the new trend, I believe, in the NFL for coaches, offensive coordinators trying to vie for head coaching jobs to make themselves look more desirable. And it's going to work. Maybe not in this exact case. It didn't in Mike McDaniels, although it could have, but he decided it was best for him to go to the Chargers situation. I think Dable would rather be head coach in LV, of course, over offensive coordinator in Tennessee. So we'll see if the Raiders are itching to get him in. If they aren't, then this won't work, but it's still a good tactic and good, deployment of resources right there. Hats off on the psychology on that one. All right, guys, this is the news a lot of you might have been waiting for. Bijan Robinson, we've been worried about this situation. Kevin Stefanski's one of my least favorite head coaching hires. The guy was trash in Cleveland, especially at the end. I mean, did he have moments years ago? Yes. But was he trash all last year? Did Stefanski mishandle the entire Shedeur Sanders situation? Regardless of what you feel about Shedeur, get out of your feelings about it. Understand the complexities of this situation. And before you run your mouth about how bad Shedeur was and Stefanski didn't do anything all that wrong, Stefanski's lost his play calling duties twice in Cleveland alone. He's been the head coach of the Cleveland Browns for several years, and in that time, he's twice lost his play calling privileges. He stripped himself of the play calling privileges, handed them off to Reese, who is now Tommy Reese is followed him over. So before people get excited and go, "Oh, the new OC's Tommy Reese," I've seen a couple people saying, "Tell me about him. What's his story? Where is he from?" He's from Cleveland. Like it does kind of suck that you've got Stefanski over in Atlanta, right? And then you say, okay, well, maybe he brings in an OC that brings a whole new vibe and he lets him play call. Then we're not worried about Stefanski. Then Stefanski is Sirianni. Stefanski is then Campbell. He'll do, let's go for it on fourth down. He'll, let's dial up something crafty right here. Like, that is what he's going to do. Play calling, mismanaging the clock or something. That's what we're worried about at that point. If Stefanski's the head coach but not play caller, and the offensive coordinator is somebody new and fresh that calls the plays and is granted play calling, which I didn't think Stefanski was going to take the job and not be the play caller, but he's said that Tommy Reese, it sucks, but his old Cleveland Brown coordinator, he brought over to be his new coordinator in Atlanta. So he's just, retreading that. But Tommy Reese did have once he took over play calling, Shedeur did get unlocked. You can say you hate Shedeur all you want, but he still played well considering the weapons he didn't have. Fannin also took off and went to the moon. So Tommy Reese, while I'm not super excited with the way he threw or didn't throw to Judkins, he did throw pretty well to Dylan Sampson at times, or he had the ball deployed properly at times, but this is also a very poor team. I am so much more excited about Tommy Reese than I am Stefanski, and this report right here confirms Falcons head coach Kevin Stefanski, who I don't like, he's just another Sirianni, said offensive coordinator Tommy Reese from Cleveland, he brought him over, will call plays in Atlanta in 2026. This is the best news I've heard all day.
Let him cook.
Best news I've heard all day. Why? Because it's not Kevin Stefanski. It's not Kevin Stefanski. Yeah, Shedeur's a Pro Bowler. Bro's a Pro Bowler. This guy coached a Pro Bowler last year. You heard me? You picking up what I'm putting down? No, in all seriousness, though, as much of a joke as that is, look, to do what you did with what you had, Tommy Reese is better than Stefanski. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying it's the ideal situation. Do I want Miami Mike over in Atlanta? Absolutely. 100%. Do I want Dable? Did I want McCarthy in Atlanta over Stefanski? 100%. But Reese is 10 times better than Stefanski for calling plays, so I feel a whole lot better today than I did yesterday. And for that reason, we're eating meatloaf. I smell meatloaf! Hey, Ma, the meatloaf! So that's good news. Good, very good news. Very, very good news. Regardless of how you feel about Cleveland, they still sucked. But look, Fannin was doing well, and Shador was moving the football, regardless of what you think of him. Penix Jr., Stefanski went on to say that Michael Penix Jr. is someone I'm very excited about when asked about the state of his team's quarterback position. This gives me a good vibe, too. Like, if Stefanski's going to be so bad at the quarterback decision-making, but his first thoughts are constantly, they're not something ambiguous, like, well, see what happens. Like, that's what I expected. So the fact that he at least understands that Penix Jr., his reign and time should not be done yet. They need to evaluate this longer. He played very well in spots. If you think Darnold can rebound, or Danny Dimes can rebound, and Baker Mayfield can rebound, and Sam Darnold becomes what he's become right now, if all those things can happen, then you got to understand that this guy showed enough promise to at least hope that that can happen too. Now, I don't think Stefanski's the right guy for the job. Reese might be the right guy for the job. And again, judging Reese in totality when Stefanski screwed up half the year and the offensive weaponry was garbage for the most part, how can we judge Reese in totality? Reese is a little bit of a risk, but he's a far less risk than Stefanski, who's had his play calling duties ripped from him twice. So Reese has actually had some proven success, whether it's sporadic or not fully balanced or whatever. He didn't have the weapons. And he's also handed Shador, who was not prepared because Stefanski screwed it up all year. So I like that there's some solid thinking around who the quarterback should be. And Penix Jr. seems to be the guy right now. And that makes me feel a little bit better about this situation. Drake May, sounds like Drake May's shoulder will play in the Super Bowl. I don't think anybody thought differently, but it's nice to see that his shoulder is not a problem. But I don't think anybody in their right mind was expecting Drake May not to play. Broncos GM talking about Bo Nix's ankle, said he'd be ready for football activities in May. That's great news, and I do believe that that's not optimistic. I believe that that's true. Aaron Rodgers, according to Mike McCarthy, definitely, when asked about whether he wants Aaron Rodgers back, don't see why you wouldn't when asked the question. And Aaron Rodgers is, I guess, I don't know if this is AI or fictional or somebody made it up, because people make up stuff about Aaron Rodgers all the time, but probably headed to a darkness retreat, and will make his decision upon his return from said darkness retreat. But darkness retreats are 1-0 for bringing Aaron Rodgers back, because he gets so stir crazy. I mean, when you really think about it, like, you go into a dark room with no technology, no light, and a bucket. And you said, hey, don't you hang out for about 3 days? What do you think your mindset's at? When I get out, I want to do nothing. When I get out of it, I mean, it's a genius thing to get somebody to come back. Hey, go sit in a room for 3 days in the dark, do nothing, and fantasize about when you get out, you're just going to continue to do nothing. Or you're going to be amped up about getting active and doing something. Damn, when I get out of here, I want to do something. Let's play football. Let's go out there and let's lift some weights. So it's a beautiful thing. It's 1-0. It'll probably be 2-0. But I don't know. I mean, Will Howard is also somebody that you've heard McCarthy talk up a lot. And so, I do think Will Howard still needs to be looked at. I kind of liked him coming out of college. So this right here, McCarthy said he'll call plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2026. This is great news. This is what I hope that Atlanta Falcons, for a minute there, I thought maybe his photo was upside down. because normally his neck is bigger than his head. So I thought maybe the photo, you know what I'm saying? I thought for a minute there. Steelers head coach Mike McCarthy calling plays. This is what I wanted in Atlanta. Get Mike McCarthy over in Atlanta, because his offense is a top 5 to 6 offense no matter what he does. I don't know if he'll be able to do quite that much with the Pittsburgh Steelers. weaponry, but we might see DK. DK is a guy I think I'm going to be a little overweight on in 2026 because I think there's a chance he really returns to that neck, man. Justin Herbert, McCarthy's the kind of guy, if he could get his head into one of those bars, you know, when people usually get stuck. I mean, if his head got through, if his neck is there, his head's going to slide right back out. Like there's no worry about calling, you know, the fire department. If you get your head through some railings and your neck is sitting there, you're good. You could probably like operation pull your head out without even touching the bars. You know what I'm saying? Justin Herbert, offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel, new offensive coordinator Malibu Mike, baby. Malibu Mike said Justin Herbert hasn't neared the ceiling of what he's capable of, and I'm so excited about Malibu Mike in LAC, just dropping loads all over the place. Herbert to the moon, flip-flops and unbuttoned shirt, you know, and just Malibu glasses at the press conferences. Although there'll be a lot more, you know, Harbaugh and not much McDaniel, and that's kind of probably good to keep him away, keep him focused. You know, let him eat bacon and sit there and craft up and make all these plays and get in his bag. Let's let him nerd out without any distractions, you know, having to manage the clock and all that BS that he's so bad at. Let's let McDaniel get in his bag, dial up, craft up, get Ladd out there like a wide back. And mark my words, Hampton's not Achane. It's not going to be the same replication. Ladd McConkey's not Debo, but Ladd McConkey's like a Debo. And then you've got Mostert. Well, maybe that is Hampton. Maybe Hampton's going to be a combination of his 20-plus touchdown Mostert mixed with a little bit of Achane, mixed with Vidal or whatever running back they bring in that's a speedster, or it all goes to Ladd. My hope is that Ladd becomes wide back, Debo Samuel. Mostert is Hampton with a mix of Achane. But don't think we're just going to see Achane's numbers. Mike McDaniel's, he's moved away from his scheme of wide back in architecture twice. This is the second time. Well, this is the second time he's moving away from it. But in San Francisco, he created and crafted it. Debo goes to Miami. We think it's Tyreek Hill. No, he changes it up on us. This guy can morph with whatever he has. So we're gonna have a fantastic. Mostert is Vidal. That's completely backwards. Mostert would be really Mostert's 20 touchdown season is going to be more Hampton than it's going to be Vidal. Vidal's not, but Vidal's going to be potentially involved. I think it's going to be something we can't expect fully, but we can definitely expect offensive explosion, some weaponry. I also think that your Ladd's just going to the moon because Ladd's one of the best route runners, you know, quickest wide receivers in the game, and he was completely underutilized. So he will go to the moon. A lot of people want QJ. We'll see. I'm not going to write QJ off, but I'm certainly not expecting anything. Like QJ's got to earn that respect from me. Is he relevant? Sure. Joe Lombardi. So is Lambert Smith. So is Harris. I mean, the rookie Harris is better than Quentin Johnston from, I think, an overall perspective and developmental perspective. Does QJ have some skill sets? Yeah, but he also could drop the ball. He also vanishes. He's always very inconsistent, but everybody was inconsistent, so it is hard to judge him. I'll give you that. Joe Lombardi fired as offensive coordinator, which is kind of interesting. You know, you don't see this very often with a Final Four team. Well, you do sometimes, but it's kind of wild. But part of this is, let me explain this. Part of this is what Detroit should have did. Campbell was amazing, right? In 2024. They should have fired Campbell and promoted Ben Johnson. That's as simple as this is. You might say, well, Joe Lombardi, I mean, didn't the Broncos do pretty well? Davis Webb. Davis Webb is the QB coordinator, the QB coach. Davis Webb was getting head coaching offers because he did so good with Bo Nix. Joe Lombardi's just in the way. Joe Lombardi's just a guy. He's a journeyman, failed multiple times in a very short window of time. Joe Lombardi, you either lose Davis Webb and you get left with trash and you realize what you really have, or you say, I don't care about titles. You're gone, little Joey boy. Joey, see you later. Go find another job. Hey, Davis, the guy really behind all of it, don't go get a head coaching job. Let me let you get your pick of the litter in 2026. You OC for me. You take Bo Nix to the moon, and we're going to have a year. So for anybody confused on the order of operations and why this went down the way it went down, there now you know, because it's really Davis Webb. And Davis Webb was prevented for now. He could still go get a head coaching job, but prevented from now, and he's been elevated. He will be elevated if it's not already official. That's that. Let me move this over here. I think we've got every piece of news. Let me just go through them all. Let me move everything just to make sure I've got it. Again, some of the best news we've heard all day is Tommy Rees will call plays, not Stefanski. It's not perfect, but it certainly gives us hope. Dable officially signed as the offensive coordinator in Tennessee, but still looking for head coaching jobs that can do that. And he's still looking at LV. Joe Brady, new head coach in Buffalo, promoted from offensive coordinator. We'll see how it goes. Dable, there we go. Penix Jr., very excited. Stefanski is about Penix Jr. That's great. Drake May is going to play in the Super Bowl. We knew that. Bo Nix will be ready for May team activities. Aaron Rodgers is going to go to the darkness retreat to see if he wants to play ball, but his new head coach, Mike McCarthy, wants him back. McCarthy also likes Will Howard, and Justin Herbert has not reached his potential yet, according to Mike McDaniel. That is the news, ladies and gentlemen.
Tim Cook.
Let me go over to Rumble. See what my Rumblers are saying. If you guys don't know the link's in the live chat. Smitty is back, 24-hour bug. He's on point. I'm not back. I'm still sick. But I don't take days off. Only a wuss would take days off. What do I look like, an a-hole? Do I look like the kind of guy that wouldn't come to work because I'm sick? You know, there's no snow days, Landman. My boy Landman in the building. He says, great channel. He's on point. Thank you, Landman. Appreciate you. All good here in Tampa. Little chill in the air. No snow. New Age Outlaw in the building over on Rumble says, what's up? All good, but sick of the cold. And how are you, Landman? Appreciate you guys over on the Rumble stream. If you guys don't know, Rumble is don't forget to watch this video that I dropped on the main channel this morning. It's who's the number one wide receiver? Is it Nakua? Is it Jamar Chase? Is it JSN? You can drop your prediction right now in the chat, but go watch that video and then drop your preference in the comments of that video. But New Age Outlaw, Landman, they're over on Rumble. You can follow the Rumble channel. Just do it because there's going to be Rumble exclusive content that won't be on other platforms to build up Rumble and to get it, bigger. So I'm going to do some exclusive content here. Just bear with me as I work through some of the stuff in January we're trying to get out of the way. But you want to subscribe to the Rumble channel. It's going to be very valuable. We got Paul's ranking JSN Puka Chase. We got Jamar Chase's one. We got Chase's one. We got how we feeling about London. I mean, we like London a lot more with Reese calling plays. I think that, you could say, oh, well, P's going to like Pitts. I don't think Reese was locking in Tommy Reese, the new offensive coordinator in Atlanta, that was the offensive coordinator in Cleveland, that Stefanski brought over as head coach of Cleveland over to Atlanta. So they're just retreading everything. I don't think it's that Tommy Reese is just only throws to his tight end, bro. Like, this part of this is Shador's choice too. Shador, it's not designed like let's get it to Fannin every time. There's progression trees and such. But that was the main weapon. He's the best wide receiver on the team. So who's the best wide receiver on the team? Drake London. Drake London's a top 5 wide receiver in the league. I'm on board Drake London and Bijan. Look, we had a minor scare, and it was an appropriate conversation that we had. It was about a week and a half that we've been sitting here going, what do we do with Stefanski? How do we rank Bijan and London? But I'm pretty much fine with this Reese situation. I'm very, very. I've been waiting for this news that if they said they're bringing Reese over and Stefanski was going to call plays, I think I'd probably crap my pants. And I don't know what I would say, but I think Reese gives me 50 to 70% of my hope back. Not 100%. If McDaniel was head coach or Dable or McCarthy, I'd probably feel 100% out of 100 about Bijan and London exploding from their ADPs, getting us every bit of value we pay for and some no matter what, just league winning. But I do believe London comes with a little more risk than we want. But, you know, that's the name of the game. Smitty, A2 squares to Smitty, can we get must-have players for 2026? Bro, every day we talk about players. Like, it's like saying, Smitty, can you do a mailbag? Like, we do a mailbag every damn second. I'm reading comments and we're pulling stuff over. Like, must-have players. That's what the show is. I mean, what do you think this is?
The Jupiter Men. Jupiter.
What is this?
Lodge.
The Saturn Men.
One small step.
What is this?
Shuttle to Mars. Mars.
What is this?
Men. Dropping loads in
How about
space?
How about how's that? It's growing, bro. Buckle up. Buckle up. I appreciate you. Hope you're not mad at me, A2. A2 to the moon. A2, I'm going to send you to the moon just because I started.
To the moon.
Okay, I'm working on my bedside manner. I'm like that doctor. It's like, you know, like, bro, how's the rash? It looks horrible. You might as well call your parents and say goodbye right now. That rash looks so bad. Like, my bedside manner ain't the best. Sometimes, A2, I apologize. I'm working on it. We're going to maybe this year call a psychologist get some therapy live on the show. Be like, bro, right? You're live right now, but can you walk me through? How do I talk to A2 better? A2 is just loving the show. He loves the show. He's a big fan. He's like, hey, Smitty, how can I get more of your content? And I yell at him. I set him on a lap. Like, how do I work on myself? Then I remember I don't want to. Then I remember I don't care. Because A2 still loves me. And I still love A2. And A2 still, no matter how much I yell at him, he's still going to Saturn. At least. Show me those receipts at the end of the year. You win your league.
To Jupiter.
To Jupiter you go. All right, phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. A lot to talk about, man. I mean, whether it's Josh Allen and Mike Evans, whether it's Bijan in London, whether it's Reese and Stefanski in general, and how it affects Kyle Pitts, and how do we believe Fannin will do in his situation with Reese gone? You know what I'm saying? A2 says you're the man, Smitty. Thank you. Appreciate you, Reese. Reese to the moon. Hayden, appreciate you over on Rumble. You're the man. I got to get those emojis fixed. We got like CJ Stroud over there. We got some old emojis because we have custom emojis. If you join I urge any of you to join they call it locals. It's the version of YouTube exclusive memberships over on Rumble. Ignore the locals part. Somebody messaged me. They're like, locals. My wife saw that. What do you do when you subscribe to? It just comes across as it's called locals. They acquired locals as a product that they, I guess, use and implement. But it's basically their YouTube exclusive membership over on Rumble. But it gives you all the emoji access. That's all it is. And it got the old emojis out. You know, there's the CJ Stroud one. We got Kamara, I think, or something like that. Matt, thank you for the giggles. My boy A2, appreciate you. Gadsden to the moon. Yeah, we haven't talked about Gadsden yet. Gadsden's going to the moon too. Gadsden might be used a little bit as almost like a wide back in a sense too, because a wide back is all about throwing the ball to the wide receiver or joker, whether it's a running back, wide receiver. It can be inverse. Like Achane was the wide back, but it was more like he wasn't the wide back. He was the the wide. You know, he was actually the wide running back. You know, he was the definition of it. Like at the end of the day, because he's a running back out wide. But Debo would play wide back. He'd play running back from the line of scrimmage out wide. That's the whole nature of it. You can have an inverse version, which was Achane. You can have a similar version to Debo that is just Gadsden. And all it means is that Gadsden will get like some almost like some screen plays and catching the football at or behind the line of scrimmage and turning into a like almost a kick returner / running back from the line of scrimmage or from behind it. Some crafty, Joker-esque type plays. So Gadsden's going to be in the mix. Ladd's going to be in the mix. We might see a balance of the wide backs spread out across all of this talent, and everybody just goes to the
to the moon.
That's how McDaniel. And McDaniel being focused on just being an architect is the key. We got a $5 hauler from our boy E-Rock. E-Rock, appreciate the super chat, especially in the offseason. You guys keep the lights on in the offseason. Appreciate all of you. Smitty, trade Puka for Genty and Flowers and a second. And New Age Outlaw gifting 1 membership. I believe you got a comment for it, and then it gets gifted. So if anybody wants that, comment in the Rumble chat right now. If you're on YouTube, get over there and get a gifted membership from New Age. He just dropped a New Age membership, just dropped a Rumble membership, but you got to comment in order to get it. I'm not sure if he's able to give it or it's the first person that comments. I'm not sure how that works. New Age, maybe you can explain that real quick. Caden just commented. Hook it up. Landman said yes. Yes to what though? Because I said 2 things. You can decide, or does it go to the first commenter? Maybe explain that to me so I can tell everybody moving forward. But Caden just said hook it up. Appreciate you being in the chat. Thank you, New Age. Appreciate that. E-Rock or add London if he adds Ladd. Add London? I like Ladd, but you're not adding London, my boy. You're not adding London Gold, bro. Smitty, trade Puka for Genty. So you're trading Puka and London? I like Genty and I like Flowers, but I don't think the value of Puka is 1 or 2 overall, bro. The season just started. Jump into these big boards streets, Smitty. Why do you keep saying this? Why do you keep saying this like I'm not all over the big board, bro? You joined the big board. I'm on the big board. Where are you at? Join the big board, bro. Of course I'm on the big board. And we do them at midnight Eastern. I'm always on the big board. Smitty, trade Puka. So no, the answer is no. Genty is great, but Genty's ADP in Dynasty and Redraft especially, but this is Dynasty. You got, obviously picks involved. It's Dynasty. You can't trade Puka this low. You got to get London, bro. Like, I know you have them, but I'm saying if you were to trade Ladd for London and then Genty for Puka, then I'm on board. If you were getting Genty in London, that would be a home run. But no, you're not giving up London, let alone doing the deal in to begin with. But thank you again, Big Bank, for the super chat. Thank you, Best Ball, for the comment. But I just don't understand why you keep saying that. I'm in Best Ball all the time. Smitty, keep being great, my guy, says Big Bank. This is Nick from Baltimore. He's really working hard to reshape his image, and I appreciate that. Nick from Baltimore. Okay. New leaf, Nick. Turnover, new leaf. I don't hold grudges. I've had people curse me out and swear, against me and tell me I'm the worst thing ever. I'm, F word, you mother, F word all the time. People tell me that all the time. And I've had people that I won't say any names, but they call in regularly that have done that. I've got thick skin. Some people think I don't. If you're disrespectful, I'll boot you. But if you don't get booted and you figure out a way to make it up, your boy Smitty's pretty forgiving. Do it live. Saleh and Dable to the Titans is greater than Harbaugh to the Giants. No, I disagree, Drone Force. I think it could be good. I think Dable and Saleh is good for the Titans. I think it is a pretty decent. It's funny because it's the all New York team, the New York coaching staffs. But Saleh, it feels like it almost should be back the other way around, like Dable and Saleh, but it's Saleh and Dable. So that part was weird for me. But I mean, it's a good combo. It is a really, really good combo. But I would say Harbaugh mixed with probably Munkin. I don't even know if that has been finalized yet under the radar. I accept your forgiveness. Okay, now you're on the off to the wrong foot again.
Take a big laugh.
It's me that's forgiving you. I guess he's accepting my forgiveness. That makes sense. Okay. I haven't really heard someone say that in a while. So it kind of took a second to click. I accept your forgiveness. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm so used. Even then he's negative. He's like, this has to be oh, that wasn't him? Who was that? Okay, so you don't nick at the bank. Oh. Big Bank. Hey, Big Bank, I owe you an apology. Nick, I don't owe you shit. Nick ain't turning over nothing. I mixed up the two banks. That happens. Big Bank, are you still here? I owe you an apology because I kind of thought you were him. So Big Bank is like, Smitty, keep being great, my guy. And I'm like, yo, Nick's turning over a new leaf. He's been such an a-hole on the channel lately. Big Bank's like, bro, I just got here. I haven't been here for a month and I just dropped a super chat. And then you tell me I'm being, where's he at? Where's Big Bank? Hey, Nick at the bank.
He's there.
Nick at the bank, since this wasn't you, go take a lap.
Take a big lap.
And go get me some coffee. Go get Big Bank some coffee. And Big Bank was like, I was like, what? Big Bank, you're going to Jupiter.
To Jupiter.
And a standing ovation and
Let
cooking.
him cook.
Nick from Baltimore would never. I should have known that. Never drop a $10 hauler. Big Bank to the moon. All right, Travis, you're live.
I like how he acts like forgiveness you have to accept. Like if someone forgives someone, that's for them. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like even Nick he's got to be like like a false negative. Like even saying like, hey man, thanks for forgiving me. It's like I accept he's got to be negative. Not to mention Nick, there's nothing to accept because you weren't him. Like what are you even doing trying to take credit for Big Bank's super chat? Big Bank drops $10 and you're here trying to take credit. I mixed it up, but here you are trying to determine forgiveness. All right, go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, I mean, I like the hire of Dabo for Cam Ward more than anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like both, like you said, it should be the other way around. I almost feel like there should be someone better than both of them as a coach, and they should both be coordinators to a point. I mean, We'll see how it works out, but it almost feels like they're just trying to recreate what they already had with Rabel by bringing in a defensive guy who, is supposed to be good with the players and stuff like that. But we'll see, though. Maybe second time around, Salah, can learn from his mistakes. I don't know. It takes a second time for a lot of guys.
Yeah, and New York is a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
Real quickly, New Age Outlaw with a $20 super chat over on Rumble.
Alert. Super chat alert.
New Age, appreciate you, my boy. Appreciate you very much. How is Justin Herbert's health looking for next year? Will you be 100% for once? I mean, he's got, what is it, little less than 8 months now, right? February, March, April, May. February, March, April, May, June, July, all of August, and then half of September. So roughly 7.5 months or whatever, some change. That's plenty of time. Like I'm not hearing anything that concerns me about Herbert. Now, if he has some sort of like they delay a surgery of some sort and then later on it's like, damn. But yeah, I think he'll probably be healthy. Not to mention, a lot of it comes down to just getting beat up over the course of a season too. And if he has a good offensive line and he has room, and McDaniel's going to create space. Space will create less sacks and pressure. And Herbert was running for his life all year. So
he ran way too much this year.
I mean, think about it. Who in LAC didn't fail? Ladd didn't do anything. QJ, even if you believe in QJ vanished just like Ladd did. Gadsden was on his way. There was a point, we talked about this on another show, but Gadsden was talked about as the number 2 or 3 dynasty tight end. In the middle of the year, everyone said this is the number 2 or 3 dynasty tight end, and then he fell off. And that's a lot of people are sleeping on Gadsden. But everyone fell off. Hampton fell off. Herbert fell off. Gadsden fell off. Ladd fell off. QJ fell off. Keenan Allen fell off. Every single player fell off. Does that mean they all suck? Or can we tie it all back to they didn't know what in the hell they're doing? Harbaugh is kind of on the struggle bus, let's call it, for his first, couple years here. And McDaniel's going to either save him or Harbaugh's going to be in some trouble. I'm not saying he's gone that next year, but he's in some trouble. If he can't turn this around with Mike McDaniel, he's then trending in a direction where it's like, that's when your boss calls you in and says, look, I've given you like verbals, like, hey, come on, show up on time. Now we're putting on like a plan. And you're like, wait a minute.
Maybe he's the backup plan if they could elevate McDaniel, if the offense is playing well and they don't like what Harbaugh's doing, in a year or so.
Yeah. So but here's the thing is, like, we're talking about Gadsden. Why do I have Ward on screen? Gadsden the point is Gadsden, Ladd, all these guys, everybody that's walking away from them saying, well, they weren't consistent, I'm out. You're making a huge, grave mistake, because we have evidence that it was not Gadsden's fault. We have evidence that it was not Ladd's fault. We have evidence that it was not Hampton's fault. We have evidence that it was not Herbert's fault, because all of them sucked. Every one of them vanished. I think every one of them reappear. So Herbert, I would say Herbert's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks to draft outside of the big 5 or 6 that falls. But the thing is, on Underdog, on best ball, big board and little board right now, and the data is pretty accurate, because we've had thousands of drafts already. That's the beauty about best ball ADPs. It gets updated like at midnight, and it incorporates thousands of drafts, not hundreds, not Stevie 1514 who bails on the mock draft in the middle of round 4 every time, and you have computer data piling on computer data. Mock drafts are dead. No one does mock. We did a mock draft the other day, and I wanted to vomit. We're not doing mock drafts. The only mock drafts I'm going to do are one man, me walking you through like a mock draft. That's it. We're not doing mock drafts. Mock drafts are trash. They're not even accurate. They don't help anybody rewatching on the replay. It's all about the 11 people drafting. Like, come on, can we mock draft? It's fun. It's great. Yeah, for the 11 people doing it. But the people watching are like, look at this joke of a draft. Everybody's reaching like crazy. There's no money involved. When there's money involved, people make good decisions. People don't lead the draft in the 4th round. So mock draft's trash. Mock draft data is trash. Underdog is paying. Every contest is paid. People are not paying money to mess around. And so I've been looking at this data, and I've been doing draft after draft. I've probably done like 25, 30 drafts already. And I have like 7 slow ones pending, or 10. So I'm already really, that's why I was making fun of whoever was saying, Smitty, you got to get into the drafts. Like, I'm in the drafts, best ball. I'm in the drafts, my boy. I'm in it deeper than you are. I probably have, looking at it, I'm on the clock in 5 drafts, slow drafts right now. I think I have, let's see here. Oh, God. I got a problem. I may be. Look at all these. These are all my pending drafts. These are all pending right here. I don't know what it is, like 20. Those are my slow drafts. But I've already done like 15 or so, at least 15 or so fast ones on top of the slow ones. And what I've noticed on the ADP, and if I pull up the quarterbacks right now, Lamar Jackson's at 48 overall. That's pretty damn good. Lamar Jackson at 48 overall. That is a player that I'm going to be very heavy on. I'm going to draft a lot of. I'm going to be very overdrafted on Lamar. So we're talking about, let me place the quarterbacks here. Josh Allen goes at 27 overall, 25 to 27 overall. So he's literally near the end of the third round to the middle. Somewhere around there. Josh Allen, he's the third. Okay, he's 27, the third pick in the third round. And then 30 overall. So somewhere in between this, like, we'll put him right in the middle. That's where Josh Allen's going. 48 overall is where Lamar's going. And Lamar, so that would be at the tail, the 4-5 turn. So let me grab Lamar and put Lamar on screen. So it's a great value for Lamar. This is a fantastic value for Lamar. I mean, you're talking a 5th round. And that does make, me want to have a bunch of different variants. This is perfect for the diversification game plan this year. So we're talking about 4-5 turn. So even if we put him at the we could put him at the top of 5 because honestly, Drake May's going at 44 overall, which is the middle of round 4. And he could go at the top of 4 at times. So we'll just put him like in between the top of 4 and the middle of 4. So right in the middle, the first quarter of that round. Okay, now we're talking about being in the middle of round 5. And in this particular draft, I'm looking at Lamar still there. So this 5.1 seems accurate. Caleb Williams is the next quarterback up. That's awesome. Let me see real quickly who's gone at quarterback. So when Josh Allen, Drake May, not another quarterback is gone. Caleb is the 5th ranked quarterback.
Yep. Insane.
Amazing. I love it. So Lamar. So then Herbert is the next quarterback up. He's not even as big of a value as you think it is. Like I thought, I'm going to have a lot of Herbert. Probably won't have as much Herbert as I thought. At least right now, the values could shift. But Herbert's going right around, 60. So this is like top of 6, roughly. Top of 6 to middle of 6, right around there. Mm-hmm. That's where Herbert's going. Joe Burrow, 71 overall. Are you out of your mind? That's the end of round 6. Joe Burrow at the end of round 6. Caleb Williams is going, what did I say? Middle of 5?
Yeah.
This is the ADP. This is not my ranking. So Caleb is right here. I'm going to do a lot of ADP shows. And I'm going to do it like this, where I map it out. And this should be, my ADP shows will be very like narrow. Like I'm going to do a quarterback ADP show like this. I'll do a wide receiver ADP show. I'll do a top 2 round ADP show. I'll do a late round ADP show. I'll do just a constant rotation of ADP shows with different variations of topics. This one's fantastic. This could be a great show if I redo this. Caleb in the middle of 5. The next quarterback up on the ADP. So Burrow, which is such a steal. Jaden Daniels at 72. Dart at 73. Hurts at 77.
Hurts is crazy because
I don't even like Hurts.
Right, we can be concerned about Hurts, but at that value, he's always the top 10 QB.
Bro, what is going on here? So JD5 Dart at 72, 73. So 72 and 73 is 7th, like top of 7. So Dart, where's Dart at? Let me pull Dart's graphic.
72,
73. Where's my Jackson Dart graphic? Damn it, where are you, Dart? Is this the one I keep forgetting to put on here that I deleted one time? Let me see. I gotta have it somewhere. Gosh dang it. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. Dart is the top of, what did I say? Top of 7?
Yeah.
So Dart is above Hurts. JD5 is above Hurts, but below Dart. Or is he above Dart? He's above Dart. He's above Dart.
Just above Dart.
Yeah, just above Dart. So JD5 right here. This is crazy ADP, man. This is insane. So we'll have JD5 here, Dart right here. Hurts is at the 7-8 turn. And then Trevor Lawrence, Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes is at 94. Dak Prescott 95. I mean, so there's some good thinking to waiting on a QB, but at the same time, the thing you got to kind of think about is like what players are in the 70s. So let me go to the running backs real quickly. You got to compare apples to apples. Running backs in the 70s could include Bashal Tootin, DeAndre Swift. Javonte Williams is 70 overall. So really, when someone says, oh, you just wait on a quarterback, they're so late, the quarterbacks fall. There's truth to that, but there's also the players that fall. Like Javonte and Josh Allen might blow away the running back you get here in 3 and going, let's say, Dart or JD5 or Caleb or whatever. Like, give me Josh Allen and Javonte over Caleb and whatever running back you're getting in 3 all day long. So it's apples to apples. Don't start comparing apples to oranges and be like, well, quarterbacks fall. That's such a lazy, embarrassing take. Everything is case by case. Who's on the board? Who's going to fall? Wide receivers that fall into the 7th round in that 69-70. Michael Wilson, Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison Jr. at 73, BTJ at 77, Parker Washington at 82. So don't tell me Josh Allen and one of those guys isn't comparable at least to grabbing Dart, Hurts, JD5, Caleb, and then one of these receivers or running backs here. It's apples to apples. But man, I'll tell you, why did I get on this topic? What were we talking about? We were talking about Lamar. What were we talking about? Herbert. So Herbert isn't as valuable as low risk as we thought, but I still am going to have some Herbert. And Herbert might fall to like 7 in some drafts, and then you take him there. But Burrow in 7, 6, 7 turn. What in the hell? Hurts at the 7, 8 turn? What are we doing? It's crazy, man. What else you got, Travis?
No, I was just saying earlier, just that, I think, I know you're not too high on him, but I think Dayball going to Tennessee gives Ward one of his best chances to actually develop into a legitimate quarterback. Because if they were getting, crap at OC, then I think he needs a guy like that can develop the quarterback. And so that helps him. And then I did see...
Real quickly, hold on to that thought just so I don't leave Landman hanging too long and New Age. Landman and New Age dropped 2 more Rumble rants, a.k.a. Super Chats over on Rumble. And those are as follows. Landman here. Target teams to draft players are Giants, Chargers, Raiders, Patriots, Seahawks, Rams, Lions, Bills, Dark Horse teams, Jaguars, Bucks, Ravens, Commanders, and free agent players depending on team. It sounds like a lot. It sounds like the whole league. But yeah, I mean, one thing I will say to piggyback off what Landman's saying is I'm very much an advocate of, and this year you'll hear a whole lot of this, draft players on good teams. When push comes to shove, it's better to draft somebody that's not Cam Ward, that's in a better situation until Cam Ward proves himself, or Tony Pollard, or whoever the hell they have, until they prove it's a nice team. It's got nice upside, but drafting players on good teams is just good practice when all things feel equal. So very, very good topic. Gadsden should be a Moon Man list, in my opinion. Of course he will be, New Age, 100%. I'm trying to slow roll everybody out. You know what I'm saying, New Age? You can't have everybody on the Moon Man, Mars Man, Saturn, and Jupiter list the first week. But Gadsden's, you can almost guarantee Gadsden's going to be at least on the Moon Man list. All right, go ahead, Travis. Thank you, guys.
I forget what I was saying. I did see, too, that, the Broncos were actually interested in bringing Joe Brady in. Sean Payton was, I guess, and to have him call plays. And so I think the Bills also didn't want to lose him, rather than bother looking for another head coach elsewhere or taking any more time with it. I think they just decided to get it done. I hope he proves me wrong, but I'm not sure I see anything that's going to change a lot there, which is fine for fantasy. But in terms of Josh Allen winning Super Bowl, I personally don't think Mike Evans is enough to do it, because I guess if you think he'll stay healthy all year, but once he gets hurt, you're back to square one with no wide receiver one there. So
Well,
I think he's a good piece, and I think it would work. But in terms of not talking about fantasy, but in terms of winning a Super Bowl, it's another risky route to go.
I mean, it's definitely a risk, I think, to a degree. There's always going to be a risk, but it's like if we know they're not going to go the one route, this is the best risk to take, in my opinion. But I think staying healthy might be tough, but I don't know. It just depends on when he gets hurt. If he gets hurt in the middle of the year, it might not be a big deal as long as he's there for the end. We can't predict that. It's kind of a crazy game of roulette, but injury roulette. But I definitely think Evans is the best option given what they're likely capable of doing. Minter.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of my point, is that like the fact that we have to like resort to saying that's the best they can do for Josh Allen, like that's kind of pathetic to me.
Yeah, it is. But I do like it a little bit more. I think it's pretty exciting. Like if Evans ends up going, I think I'm going to be owning a lot of Mike Evans. I'm a little bit more bullish on.
No, I agree with that. Like, it's from a fantasy standpoint, I'm all on board. I like it. I don't think it, and I just think it's risky. And I think when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, you need to be doing more than bringing in an older receiver who's still very good, but carries all types of risk and is a short-term bridge. And at some point, don't you have to try to get a younger stud receiver in there for him, or are you just going to play patchwork games with him for his whole career?
Yeah, no, I agree. So we got Brady over in Buffalo. Let me put that here. I'm trying to update the coaching board. New Age, you're on the line. What's up, pal? You're live.
Hey, I was just wondering, is there any chance I could pay for a $20 poll or no?
Sure, bro.
Okay, I'll drop it in a second, but can you just do one of Kyle Pitts or Gadsden?
Okay.
Or dynasty or redraft? Just curious.
Redraft.
Okay.
Overall, redraft.
Okay, so Gadsden or who?
Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
For a redraft 2026. That's a good one.
Kyle Pitts. I could tell you it's going to be Gadsden by a mile, but let's see. Let's see what they...
I don't know.
Pitts is going pretty high in best ball. That's why I'm wondering what's going on.
All right, guys, here's the poll. Please vote on Gadsden or Pitts right here. Here's the poll. There it is, right
Pitts
there.
stays in Atlanta.
Let me add this to the screen. Hold on. Let me vote. Let me give my little cast my vote there, pal. And then let me throw this in poll. And then I'll go 800. There we go.
Pretty close so far.
Gadsden. Yeah, Travis is right. It's a lot closer than I thought. So we have 11 votes so far. That link is in the live chat. Let me pin it real quick. Guys, vote on the poll that I just pinned right now. Gadsden versus Kyle Pitts. 8 votes to 4. The way I look at it is, I guess if you want safety, Kyle Pitts is pretty good. And given Reese did throw successfully to Fannin, but I do think that that's more of like Fannin was the number 1 wide receiver on the team. I'm not saying Pitts won't do well, but I don't think I'd tie that to like, oh, this guy only throws to his tight end. I think it's a faulty logic. But I think Gadsden, because he failed completely and vanished, that might scare more people off to make this a little bit closer vote than I expected. But Gadsden to me as top 4. Well, I mean, Pitts has top 5 to 6 upside too. He really kind of does.
Sure.
I mean, he really is good. So yeah, maybe I'm a little hard. I wasn't going to say I'm hard on Pitts. I still like Pitts, but I think I'm just super high on Gadsden. But yeah, you're right. 9-7.
And it could change too, depending on where, if Pitts ends up leaving. I guess if he leaves and goes somewhere, people might get higher on Pitts even, just out of, hype. But,
Yeah. McCarthy.
I do think with them committing to Penix, that helps London more than Pitts. But.
Yeah. Husseini with a $2 holler. Husseini, by the way, you were in the comment section of the live premiere this morning. I don't know if you saw that. When I do live premieres, we're literally in the live chat. And damn it, did I just mess this up? Hold on. We're in the live chat of the premiere. And New Age just hung up. New Age, call back. I don't know where he went. New Age hung up real quick. Mute yourself real quick. I'll be right with you. But the caller I just added, please mute yourself real quick. We've got McCarthy over here. I'm just trying to make this board accurate. So we got McCarthy. We've got, who am I missing on this board, Travis? I got Brady. I got McCarthy on it. I've got, let me move this around so you can see it. I got Salah, Dable, Halfley, Petzing, McDaniel, Brady. We're still waiting on Schwartz in Cleveland, Arizona, and LV. I think it's all pretty accurate. Husseini says Gadsden because of McDaniel. Don't trust Stefanski. But good news, I don't know if you saw, if you just got here, but Reese is going to be calling plays. Who came from Cleveland. They're retreading the whole staff. So you're getting the Cleveland Browns staff from last year. Reese is from that staff. It kind of sucks, but at the same time, he was successful to a degree. He took over play calling in Stefan. Isn't it weird? Like you hire a coach in Stefanski. Like how dumb are the Falcons? It's like you hire Stefanski as your head coach, but while he's getting the job, he's like, yeah, I'm a play caller at heart, but I don't trust myself. I'm going to bring in the same. like how dumb is that? Like, let me get New Age back in. Hold on. New Age, you're back on to start. I don't know if that was. I think you hung up. I don't think I did it, but Gadsden 9, Kyle Pitts 7. We're only getting 16 votes, guys. That link is in the live chat pinned.
Come on.
Can we get some more votes than that, please? Can we get like 25, 30 votes instead of 16? Yeah, it seems like moronic, right? Like Stefanski, hey, you don't trust yourself calling plays. Okay, we'll still hire you as head coach. We still think you'll be good. But don't be fooled by Fannin overusage means that he won't throw to London. It's just Fannin was the number one pass catcher.
Yeah. And the craziest part too is they jumped on Stefanski so fast. There's all these big names out there. And they have all types of talent on their team. I know their QB was a little iffy, but they just locked down Stefanski. Matt Ryan must really like him, and so what does that say about Matt Ryan? I don't know.
Yeah. And to the point of Knapp, he's not, he's a free agent. Kyle Pitts is a free agent. We don't really even know, where he ends up.
Yep.
They could tag him.
Yeah, might be a possibility.
Here are the free agent
tight end.
Here are the free agent tight end.
He'd get top of the market anyway for tight end.
Goddard's a free agent. And Njoku, it's good for Fannin. Kelsey's going to stay. He's not going somewhere else. Likely Kyle Pitts. It's a pretty decent, group there.
All things considered, it's a really good group compared to what you usually see.
All right, let's go back to this vote real quick. 12-8. Can we get 5 more votes, guys? The link's pinned in the live chat, please. I think of the link right here, too. Let me find it. Let's see if I can grab it real quick again. Please vote on the poll. Where is my link? Here it is. All right, let me drop the link again one more time. It's pinned, but if you don't see the pin for any reason. Vote on the poll right there. We need 25 votes. Gadsden 14, 8 to Kyle Pitts. Any thoughts on this so far? Is this what you expected, New Age? And I appreciate you.
Starting to pull away a little more.
Yeah, actually, I figured it was because I was wondering in best ball, Kyle Pitts is so high as ADP compared to Gadsden. I didn't understand it, or if it just hasn't settled yet, or what's going on.
New Age with the $20 super chat for that poll. Appreciate you, bro. New Age to the mother freaking moon.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Yeah, so because the best ball right now, Kyle Pitts is 56.8, and Gadsden is 110.6. So 50 spot difference.
Yeah. Who's saying?
But I can understand that at the same time. Just the way Pitts finished and the way Gadsden, and all the Chargers fell off.
Husseini, thank you for the. Yeah, I agree. Thank you for the super chat. Husseini also said Matt Ryan is a joke. I agree. So far, Matt Ryan's crap the bed. He walked in to the facility like how they have the celebrations and everybody's waiting at the front doors, the big glass buildings, and very professional looking. The whole staff is waiting, and they bring in their new head coach or their GM or whatever. Matt Ryan walked in, turned around, pulled his pants down, and took a dump right in the middle of the entryway as everybody's celebrating. It's like, wow, man, wow. Even if Stefanski ends up, being Sirianni, like you get the right OC in place and then Stefanski looks great, it's still a stupid hire when you have all these other options on the table still. What do you think of Puka, Chase Brown, Josh Allen start out of the 3 spot? Puka, Chase Brown, Josh Allen, love it. I've drafted that several times, and even different variants of it. Love it. I do think, you could get a Javonte later where the quarterbacks are, so I'm not necessarily pressed to be like, oh, well, we just saw the value of these guys. This is going to make a lot of casual people, and no disrespect to people, but a lot of casuals will say, yeah, I'm just waiting on a quarterback. Like, it's such a dumb approach, because you shouldn't be set on anything. You should be very, very flexible to what the board gives you. And if the board gives you in the 3rd and 4th round and 2nd round players that are not quarterbacks, then yeah, you have good solace and confidence that you get to these later rounds and you've got value upon value. Like, that's a fantastic approach. Hear what I'm saying. Drafting late quarterback is awesome. Drafting early quarterback is awesome. Drafting mid-round quarterback is awesome. You got to take what the board gives you. Somebody that says I'm waiting to draft a quarterback is admitting that they're going to take just any position. They're going to take a position and not a player. That's moronic. It's lazy. It's embarrassing. You got to take what the board can give you. Now, you might run through enough scenarios to say, I pretty much know that I'm always going to love the running backs and wide receivers here. I've done 54 drafts. It's a little different than saying in general at the beginning, especially before ADP settled or ADP changes and shifts. Maybe later in the year, you won't like who's in the 3rd round at all. Josh Allen and Javonte, Josh Allen and Michael Wilson is better than the wide receiver running back you're getting here in Caleb or Herbert. So it's all perspective, and you lock yourself into these strategies. You're just digging yourself a hole. It makes no sense at all. Ray G, I like to start, my boy. So don't be afraid to go Josh Allen early is my point. Don't be afraid to not go Josh Allen if the right player falls, and do variants of everything. Let me go over the other caller that's waiting, then I'll cycle everybody off. Michael from San Diego, you're live.
Going on, Smitty. Since we're on the topic of tight ends, wanted to get your thoughts on my boy Tucker Kraft, man. I was right on him. He was tight end 1 at time of injury. I just wanted to get your thoughts on him next season and just the future outlook, because I still think he's a pretty good asset, at least in my opinion.
I mean, we got to be worried about that damn injury, though, Like, that sucks.
And Yeah, I mean, I saw a report that he's ahead of schedule, looking good. You don't really know, but it's not a bad sign.
Yeah,
So,
not bad.
And he's still pretty young.
Yeah, but I think we could be like a year away from getting back to where he was. The momentum was there. I think he's going to be good. I think it depends on his ADP. According to the mock draft data I'm looking at here, Tucker Kraft is going about 87 overall. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Kraft is pretty good there. I like that.
Yeah, I agree. Also, another thing, what do you think is holding up Philly on their OC search? I'm a Titans fan, so I'm happy we got Dave. I'm pretty shocked.
What is holding it up? The fact that no one wants it, bro. That's what's holding up Philly.
Yeah, but why?
Because it's
that?
trash.
Because most of their OCs get
because Sirianni's a piece of junk, bro. Sirianni's not a good coach. He's been coasting on the offensive coordinators, and when the offensive coordinators aren't ballers, he falls apart. Like, explain to me how you have 2 nuclear warheads in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and also 3 with Saquon Barkley, and you're the most boring offense in the National Football League. And the only reason you keep saying, oh, well, but he wins, he's not winning. Your defense, your defensive coordinator, your defense is winning. And when Sirianni lost both Shane Steichen and Gannon off of the big, huge year, and then all of a sudden Gannon, Steichen go, and then he botches hires and does a horrible job that year. They have to re-clean house, get new OC, new DC, and then they pick up things again. Like Sirianni's an immature. He's just an immature person, bro. He's the kind of guy that like he ends up having to resign because of some sort of off the field or weird situation that emerged. That's the kind of guy Sirianni is, where we're laughing about it later and going, wow, can't believe he had to step down because he, whatever. Insert wild activity.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on Sirianni. I was just thinking from an offensive coach's standpoint that, hey, if I'm looking for a head coaching job, I can go there for a year, do really well, and I'm out.
Maybe, but they fired their offensive coordinator. Like they're not producing. Why they're not producing? You're about to trade AJ Brown away. You're about to get the.
Do you think they actually moved?
Yeah.
Him, like legitimately?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I think it's 60-40. I mean, I don't think anything's a lock because the right team.
You don't think the cap hit is going to deter them from that?
I don't think so. Let me AJ Brown contract. Let me find his full cap hit and contract real quick. Hold on. AJ Brown is his dead cap in 2026 is $72 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot.
You can split.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But you can split it over 2 years, and there's an out in his contract after next year.
I mean, that's why it's 60-40. But I think that with his being a toxic, like he's dragging the whole team down, bro.
But you don't think them getting a new coordinator in there solves that?
Maybe.
Like, hey, AJ, we got you a new guy. We're gonna give you a bunch of balls.
Hence the 40. Hence the 40%, 60-40.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's the ballpark zero. It's zero dark. It's not. It's that it's spread out that it could be 40 this year. It's 72 dead cap for 2026. It's just they're gonna not take it all in one lump.
Yeah. Gotcha. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's all I got.
All right, later, bro.
Appreciate the time. Yep.
Over the course of 2 years, it'll be $72 million. But anyway, that doesn't hold teams back all the time when you have a toxic situation. But also, what's going to matter is what's important to the Eagles. They draft really well, so if they think they can get the right player in place for that money, then it's worth it to them. But that's why it's 60-40. It would be almost near 100% if, let's say, his dead cap was like $15 million. Like he's worn his welcome. No, in some of the math, it's not like looking at something like this tells the entire story. There's different contracts are very complex, so this is all rough information. But I'll show you right here for those of you who keep saying $40 million. I'll put it up on his contract up on screen. It's right here. As you can see, the dead cap column, dead cap hit Dead cap $72.5 million. Over in this far column, $72.5 million. The potential out is in 2027. And where it's a $31 million dead cap. So as you can see right there. But $72 million dead cap, again, they can spread that out. His cap hit's $23 million. If some of you are confused on cap hit and dead cap is right there in front of your face. Anyway, but likelihood that he does get traded, the reason it's not 100% is because of the money. But it's 60-40 just because he's toxic, bro. He is so toxic in this locker room. They were 4-0, I believe, was when he walked away from... He was walking into the tunnel and he went left instead of straight and just pouted like a baby when they won their game and they're 4-0. And he's like, I'm not talking to reporters today. And they made a big deal out of it. This guy's been a diva he's arguing. I mean, you got to understand him trying to nearly headbutt Sirianni in that final game is probably the straw that broke the camel's back, that broke the Sirianni's back. That guy's very, very conceited. And I have a feeling he didn't take that very well, especially being, probably a meme for years now, where he looked like he was a deer in headlight.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he was scared of A.J. Brown. It's embarrassing. So I don't know.
A lot easier to mend fences when you win the Super Bowl. Let's run it back type of thing. But when it ends with something like that, and that's the last image and the last thing that went on, a lot tougher.
Yeah.
To come back from that.
But is it worth moving him without a very good return for $72 million dead cap? No. But what would be acceptable? A.J. Brown's not a spring chicken. He can't get you like a second rounder. So is it worth moving him for a later pick? Could you get?
I think they jump at a third rounder.
Yeah.
Move him. I'm not saying I would, but you see these guys move for like third, fourth, fifth rounders all the time when a team wants to move on. I guess the money might make it different, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think he moves, but we'll see. I think enough teams will be willing to.
Hold on a second. Maybe Zero Dark.
They'll get this done.
Maybe Zero Dark 30 is right on this $40 million. Why is maybe this contract information is wrong? I don't know if I don't know if this information is wrong or this information is wrong. So Zero Dark, you might be correct. Eagles trade A.J. Brown dead cap details. If traded before June 1, dead cap hit is $43.5 million on the Eagles 2026 cap. If traded after, hold on. If traded after June 1, it's 16.3 in 2026, and in 2027, it's 27.16. So what? Maybe these numbers are wrong here. So maybe Zero Dark, I apologize if you were right. So if that's the case, then he's definitely gone. But I don't know what these numbers are, where these are coming from. This is from traditionally the most accurate website for this information. So I don't know which one's wrong. I don't know if this is wrong. This is from Kruger.
There might be some complication with the before and after June 1st.
Well, I'm looking before June and after June. If he's traded after June, it's 16 million and then 27 in 2027. If he's traded before June, it's 43 million. That's one of the largest single dead cap hit charges in league history. Eagles save nothing on the cap space in 2026. They'd actually have a negative savings because the dead cap is bigger than the salary charge. I just wonder if, I still think I might be right that this isn't calculating the 2027 value like you're just about to say. If it's before June 1, if it's after June 1, which is a lot harder to trade him, then maybe it is 40 total. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know which one's more accurate, because this is saying 43 million, but that's 2026. I believe you're dividing it up, and that's the divided amount. So maybe the additional 30 or whatever, 20, 30 does still hit you in 2027. This is just isn't explaining it. Quick summary: pre-June 1, 43 million dead cap, huge hit. Post 16 and then 27. Teams often prefer to post June 1 trade to reduce the dead cap hit, though it pushes some into next year. I don't know. It's not really explaining it. And every contract is like, there's different things in it. Sometimes the numbers are not the same as you are calculating. Let me merge Rock out in real quickly. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try and come back at midnight tonight. I don't know if I will or not. I'm still feeling pretty bad. My voice is I'm almost lost it now. New Age Outlaw, real quickly, final thoughts, and I'll go over to Rock out.
What do you got for the final poll?
63% to 36% in favor of Gadsden with 22 votes. So 14-8.
Okay, thank you much.
Hey.
Thanks for what you do, too.
Yeah, New Age, thank you. Sorry if I don't see your Rumble questions as quickly. I'm trying to get better at that, and appreciate you very much. And Landman as well. So you guys are holding the fort down over on Rumble. Thank you.
All right, yep. Later.
Speaking of Landman, he just dropped another Rumble rant. Thank you again. Everybody that wants to go over to Rumble, do so, and just at least follow so you've got me on that other platform. Smitty, sign the Cardinals head coach job. Put in the contract that you can keep your streams. We'll do it, Landman. I'll apply for it now. And when I walk in there, I'll probably step on Kyler and go, "Oh, little boy, I didn't see you down there." I'm sorry, Kyler. Did I step on you? Hopefully I didn't ruin your trade value. To think I spent all that time on that Kyler Murray and MHJ video. Probably took me like 2 hours to make that one day. Like, all he does is eat footballs. Kyler. All right, Rock out. Final thoughts, even though you just got here.
My bad. If Kubiak leaves Seattle, what's a good coordinator for Seattle to replace him with?
Kingsbury. I don't know if it fits there. Shieldhouse, maybe. I don't know. It's getting thin, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's getting thin. That's the tough part for Seattle, because Coobs is waiting until it's all final, right? But then at that point, when he vacates, then all of a sudden, damn, like Seattle's screwed because all the other coordinators are gone. It's really bad.
And maybe it's a Kingsbury situation of last year where he stays with Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Webb is most likely gone off this board, and I like that Denver. If anybody missed it, Denver is they fired their offensive coordinator, and they're most likely going to promote Davis Webb, QB coach, up to OC. And anybody that thinks that that's wild, it's not, because it's what the Lions should have done with Campbell and Ben Johnson. And that wasn't like in retrospect. We all kind of knew, like, Ben's better than Campbell. Like, everybody's like, Campbell goes for it on fourth down. It's exciting. He's just a fun coach. They love him. He cries. He's a big baby, big teddy bear. But I mean, the real ballers, real ball knowers knew that Ben Johnson's better. But you can't do that kind of thing. You can't fire your head coach and promote the better guy. You know, it's like George Costanza. Like, he knows what to do. Break up with his fiance, but he can't do it. He's got to find an excuse. He can't do it. He just got to make the wrong decision over and over and over. We're watching George going, George, you don't want to be with her, bro. Don't worry about the stamps. But it's the same thing. And Sean Payton ain't playing around. He's like, okay, OC out. We did well. Who cares? Davis Webb, you're responsible. You're trying to get a head coaching job. I'll promote you to OC. You can get your pick of the litter. All the great jobs probably gone right now. So once you mold Nick's become the top dog candidate under my regime, offensive coordinator, we're there. You're going to get a Super Bowl. You get a Super Bowl as my OC. You get to go wherever the hell you want. So Davis Webb, making the right decision, I think. We'll see. It's got to be official. I don't know if it's official, but gifted memberships by somebody, I think. Blazin with 10 gifted memberships. Blazin, appreciate you, my boy. Let me put that on screen in a second. Let me go over here. All right, rock out. Fine.
I don't know how he pronounces it.
Yeah, did I call him Blazin? I think I called him Blazin. Travis, rock out. Final thought. Thank you, Blazin. Blazin to the moon.
Alert.
No, that was about it. But I'll catch you at the 12 o'clock.
Yeah, hopefully I'm here at midnight. I can't promise. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
All right, later, bro.
All right.
I'm gonna try. I just don't know. I'm doing upload today. I need to do a Dynasty video though. Maybe I'll upload a Dynasty show, or do a quick Dynasty live stream maybe. But I don't know if I'll be doing 2 shows tonight. I'm just feeling a lot worse today. My voice is shot. I'm about to lose my voice. If I lose my voice, I'll be in some trouble this week. I don't think I've ever not had my full voice. Like, I don't know what I do. Just write on the marker board. Just be like, hello. I could
have Ziggy talk for you. He likes to talk.
Yeah, let's try it out. Hold on. Are we back to this? I thought we were over this. Hold on. I thought we were over this blurring of my. Let's see, where's my focus? We haven't had a problem with the focus in a while with this camera. And now it is back to being problematic. Hold on. Come on. What in the hell, bro? Hold on a second. There we go. So let's practice in case I lose my voice. Hey, Ziggy. I can't talk right now. I lost my voice. Can you translate for my live stream?
Of course, Smitty. I've got your back. Just type what you need me to say, and I'll be your voice on the stream.
Okay, tell everybody hello. Say something about deucing the like button. And maybe talk about, how Josh Allen's still going to drop loads on the field all year, even though they brought in Joe Brady.
Smitty says they're still going to drop loads on the field all year, yet even though Joe Brady's been brought in.
Okay, now just start talking and pretend you're me. Because I don't know what to say and I have no voice. You there? Ziggy, why are you leaving me hanging? I need you. He got scared. Hold on. Ziggy, off!
Now he doesn't want to talk.
Ziggy, turn off.
The one time you ask him to talk.
I know. Kruger, I can't talk.
I'm here.
My voice is gone. Pretend you're me and just start rambling for like a minute.
All right, folks. Imagine this is me, Smitty, right? So here we are, breaking down fantasy, and let me tell you, nobody's going to give you the edge like I do. We've got the rookies coming in hot, and I've already told you Bucky Irving is going to smash this year. And if you're not double fisting QBs late, you're taking a lap. We're ahead of the curve. It's baked in, boys. And the panic about Harvey, fake news. So grab your Mexican Coke, smash that like button, drop a deuce, and let's get ready for the next bombshell. Because, as always, we're doing it live.
It's pretty good. Pretty good, Krug. The only problem is you're living in 2025. Can you kind of redo that, but understand that you're talking about last year? Let's move into 2026, pal. One more time. Try it again. Take two.
All right, take two. We're in 2026 now, and looking back, last year, Bucky Irving crushed it, just like I said he would. We had RJ Harvey stepping into that role, and the panic, it was a joke. Now going into 2026, we're double fisting QBs again, and I'm telling you, if you're not on top of these rookie backs, you're behind. So like last year, grab that Mexican coat, drop a deuce on that like button, and let's make 2026 even bigger. It's baked in, boys.
All right, now give us three predictions for 2026.
Prediction 1, Malik Neighbors finishes as the #1 fantasy wide receiver. No more dark horse, he's the guy. Prediction 2, Bucky Irving breaks into the top 3 running backs. Tremendous, shifty, unstoppable.
Okay.
And prediction 3, Justin Fields leads the Jets to a playoff win. Proving everyone wrong. It's all getting hot in here, Smitty.
Oh,
Bro, awesome. My job's safe.
yeah.
Everyone's saying that, AI is taking over. I mean, there's nothing to fear right now. Maybe 5 years from now, we're good. We're good for a while. This guy's incompetent. Justin Fields taking it. What do you say that he was doing? Justin Fields. I started laughing so hard I couldn't hear him.
Leading the Jets to a playoff win.
Now, Justin Fields may go somewhere else and revitalize. All right, I gotta go. Anything else, Travis?
Yeah. Just that that cap hit for AJ Brown, it is 43. It's 72 if they cut him before June 1st. It's 43 if they trade him before June 1st.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
So there's differences with that. So,
But sometimes I feel like the contracts are wildly different, like in terms of cutting, trading. I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah, they can be too.
Yeah, okay, 43 if he's traded. That's not bad. I mean, that's a lot, but spread that over 2 years, 26 and 16 or whatever the hell it was. So Zero Dark, you were correct on the 43 on the trade. You're right. His dead cap if cut was 72. They're not going to cut him. So my bad on that. You were correct.
And then post June 1st, both numbers change again. So.
All right, let's see what the difference is on Justin Jefferson then, because that's a big deal. Hey, Kruger, if Justin Jefferson is traded versus cut, what are the dead cap hits for the 2026 offseason here, post and pre-June 1?
Let's break it down. If Jefferson is traded, the team still takes on the remaining guaranteed portion of his signing bonus. If it's before June 1, the dead cap accelerates into that season, meaning a bigger immediate hit.
What are the numbers?
I wish I could give you exact numbers on the fly, but they depend on his contract structure, especially how much signing bonus is left. Generally, if traded pre-June 1, the full remaining bonus hits that year. Post-June 1 splits it, a portion that year, the rest next year. If you've got his bonus details, I can help you estimate the dead cap more precisely.
All right, hold on a second.
Take your time.
Yeah, well,
The details, or if you want to talk through general scenarios, just let me know. We'll break it down cleanly.
All right, so what I'm looking at here, Justin Jefferson has a dead cap of $72 million. Same thing that showed for A.J. Brown. But like with A.J. Brown getting traded versus cut, does J.J.'s dead cap hit change or not in his particular contract? His contract details are he has a 4-year, $140 million deal, average salary $35 million per year, signing bonus $36.9. His base salaries from 24 through 27 are $1.1 million, $1.17 million, $24.9 million, $29.24 million, and then the potential out in 2028. His signing bonuses are $7.4 million in 2024, $7.4 million in 2025, $7.4 million in 2026, and $7.4 million in 2027.
Got it. So that dead cap largely comes from the remaining signing bonus. If he's traded, the team accelerates the remaining prorated bonuses. Before June 1, all leftover bonuses, so the 2026 and 2027 portions, would hit at once. After June 1, only the 2026 portion hits immediately, and the 2027 portion pushes to the following year. If he's cut, it's similar. Pre-June 1, all remaining guaranteed bonus accelerates right away. Post-June 1, you split the hit over 2 seasons.
Okay, so what's making the difference up between the $72.2 million dead cap and the $24.9 million and the $29.2 million?
Difference is the remaining prorated signing bonus. Each year, about 7.4 million of that bonus is spread out. If he's cut or traded, all the future chunks get added together. That's why instead of just looking at base salaries of around 25 to 29 million, you get that huge dead cap number. It's all that guaranteed bonus money still sitting on the books.
So if he's traded, the dead cap is $72 million, and if he's cut, it's $72 million, and if he's traded, it's $54 million.
It would actually be the same dead cap, whether traded or cut, because the signing bonus proration is already guaranteed and sticks to the original team.
See, that's
whether he's traded or cut before June 1, the full remaining bonus hits at once.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, these contracts are all slightly different. I don't know. It is.
I have 46 for Justin Jefferson.
He's saying that the dead cap remains 72. So some of it's about the way it's structured, you know. So I'll dig into it
after the show. Check the link I sent you after the show. It breaks it down.
Justin Jefferson is cut versus traded this offseason. What is the dead cap? It's kind of crazy that Kruger, like, sometimes a Google search is better than Kruger, and Kruger's searching. It's like, so cut roughly 80 million, traded 46 million. Is what you're getting, I'm sure. And it's 13 million post June 1 dead cap if traded after. Yeah, so I guess trade 46. So I guess it's the same thing. It's about 40 something million to trade AJ Brown or JJ. And it's 72 if you cut, which they're not going to cut either one. So, okay. I do know that sometimes that trade and cut is not different, but I don't know.
Sometimes it's not. But
every contract's a little bit different with the prorated guaranteed money. So, interesting. Like, for example, if Deshaun Watson, I mean, his contract's fully guaranteed, like his base salaries and all, like everything's, every contract's a little different with that guaranteed money. So, yeah, it looks like, you know, JJ's a little bit more tradable. But still, the Vikings are not trading JJ. I can almost guarantee that. But who knows?
No.
1% chance. All right, Travis, we'll see you maybe tonight.
Yep. Thanks, buddy.
All right, later, bro.
Talk to you later.
All right, guys. I appreciate you all. Bijan is going to the moon. Don't you worry.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
Get Bijan. Mr. London, what seems to be the problem? I've been a little off. Can't seem to get things going, if you know what I mean. I think I have just the thing for you, Mr. London.
Appreciate you all. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you maybe tonight. Possible we just go live on Dynasty, and then, I don't know. We'll see. Deuce. Don't forget to get on over to the 24/7 live chat Patreon. That link is in the description of the video. 365 24/7 live chat group. Don't forget to get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com for all the rankings, bowl predictions, trade calculators. Don't forget to get on over to Underdog, promo code Smitty. The link is in the description for all of these, including Underdog. The link will insert code Smitty for you. They'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. Kind of feel like we do need to come back and draft a big board, though. Maybe we'll come back and draft a big board tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see if I have the energy. Appreciate you all. See you maybe at midnight Eastern. Deuce.